Okay, so I'm 16 years old, and I am a monarchist, and I'm proud to say I'm a monarchist. So a lot of people who know me know that I am a monarchist, and I get a lot of questions on saying, why are you a monarchist? Why me, someone who is second generation on my mother's side, and first generation on my father's side who were born in Australia, coming from Lebanon, so nowhere with United Kingdom background or connection. Why do you feel a connection to the monarchy, and why are you a monarchist? So my question is now, how do you think we can get the youth, people under the age of 25, let's say, to start to realise the importance of the monarchy and having an opinion rather than I don't care, because that's what you get a lot, I don't care. So my question is, how do we get people under the age of 25 to have that connection that children had in 1954 when the Queen first came, or 1963 when the Queen came again? So,
thank you. Yes.
My name is Ricardo Umberto Berino Bosi. With a name like that and a face like this, you've got to wonder whose side he's on. The reason I say that is for a cheap laugh, but more importantly, to address your issue. I'm the first generation Australian as well. Both parents came out in 1951 on a ship. Before the decade was out, they were married, had their first child, and had established the first non-English language radio program in Australia as a commercial venture to help the other Italians integrate. The reason that's important is this. I grew up in a country, my face was different, what I ate at home was different, I knew nothing about rugby. I only started following South Sydney because my mate in 3rd grade was following South Sydney. Knew nothing about it. But what I didn't see was colour, what I didn't see was language, what I didn't see was any of those externalities that the left idolise. What I saw in common was courage, what I saw in common was patience, prudence, good-natured rivalry, that typical Australian character. So as a kid, even though I had to be told when I was 9 that my father had an accent because I couldn't tell. In answer to your question, how do we get them to realise that monarchy is important? It's because it's part of our history. It's who we are. It's like forgetting your father, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, those black and white grainy photographs. If you forget who you are and where you come from, you have no idea who you are and where you're going. It is an intensely emotional connection to the past that tells us who we are. And there are some very erudite reasons why it's important. But the courage of the Australians who built this country, whether you want to go back a couple of generations to my family, or a couple of generations before, the Chinese gold diggers, or the Irish who drank too much and fought too much, or Catholic. It doesn't matter. The qualities that make Australia one of the most wonderful countries on the planet, and I've lived and worked all around the world. It is a unique place. And you go to Ashfield High School, is that right?
I do, I go to Ashfield.
Okay. Did you know that Ashfield had a Chinese Lord Mayor at the turn of last century?
Yeah.
So did Darwin.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they didn't care.
There's a bus with him next to the station.
There you go. So all this nonsense that Yasmin Abdul-Majid and these other individuals spout, it's racism pure and simple. What we are started back with Magna Carta, started with every bloody Queen Mary or awful king, makes no difference. It was through the struggle to achieve the freedom and rights that we enjoy today, and it goes all the way back. And the moment we forget that, we have a problem. A big problem.
I must say, I'm actually quite of the various causes out there that one evaluates as a purely political calculation of a sort of a pass-fail prospect you put to a test. I'm quite optimistic in relation to the Crown and the monarchy. I think one of the problems for young, one of the problems is young people engage, their point of engagement with the Crown, while they don't recognise all the invisible or implicit interactions with the Crown. They only see the Crown through their interactions with popular culture. But I do say that, if Labor wants to bring on a referendum while Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth is on the throne, I say, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Ready.
We'll go, you mate.
Absolutely.
Queen Elizabeth II is a major historical figure. She is a kind of rock star of the modern world, and her roots just go so deep in so many parts of the world that she will be. I just think it's a very difficult proposition to shift. Now with sort of Kate and to some extent Megan being the point of interaction, I'm also optimistic about that. I had a very senior figure in the press gallery who I just don't have her consent to name her, but I will get it because I would like to out her. Is that she has been a virtually lifelong Republican, but has just confessed that having watched Claire Foy on The Crown, she's been fully converted to the monarchy, fully converted. So I say I don't really care how we get them.
As long as we get them.
As long as we get them. And I say, well, you're obviously you've made the most encouraging speech so far today. I'm expecting you to play a decent role in recruiting the rest of them.